Hi there. For those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Amin Korchi. I'm a practicing radiologist, an investor, and advisor to healthcare AI companies. Today, I want to comment on a recent acquisition that, in my opinion, teaches one of the most important lessons in healthcare AI entrepreneurship. Sometimes, building the right product, but at the wrong time, can cost millions of euros and years of hard work. Sectra, one of the world's leading radiology IT company, recently acquired the Lithuanian AI startup Oxipit for just 1.7 million euros in cash. This is significantly less than the company had raised from investors. I wonder, how can a company that developed one of the most advanced AI products in radiology end up being sold for such a modest amount? And I think the answer has very little to do with the quality of the technology and everything to do with timing. For those who don't know Oxipit, it was founded in Vilnius, Lithuania, nearly 10 years ago, and they developed the world's first CE-marked autonomous AI for chest X-ray. Their software could identify completely normal chest X-ray with such a high level of confidence that those examinations could be removed from the radiologist's work list without any human review. The company raised several millions euros from investors. They built an experienced AI team and obtained one of the most ambitious regulatory approvals in radiology AI and medical AI in general. It was an astute idea, addressing the growing shortage of radiologists and the growing chest X-ray backlogs. And it was also a remarkable technical achievement with a strong clinical validation. It sounds futuristic, autonomous AI, and I think that's precisely the problem. Oxipit wasn't necessarily wrong. It was probably too early. There is a well-known saying in the startup world: being too early is indistinguishable from being wrong. To me, Oxipit is a textbook example of that. To understand what happened, we first need to look at the bigger picture of AI adoption in radiology. Radiology has actually embraced AI remarkably quickly. Less than 10 years ago, AI in radiology barely existed. Today, around half of European radiologists report using at least one AI application in clinical practice. That's big, although adoption varies considerably between countries and institutions. And keep in mind, these figures are already a few years old, so actual adoption today is likely even higher. But if we look more closely at what has actually been adopted, a very clear pattern emerges. The applications gaining traction today are generally those that either deliver an obvious financial return on investment or have accumulated exceptionally strong clinical evidence. A good example of this category is MRI acceleration. Hospitals pay for software that shortens scan times, allowing more patients to be scanned every day. The financial benefit is immediate and easy to understand and compute. A good example of this second category is AI in mammography, where years of clinical validation have helped build confidence among radiologists that it significantly improves the quality of reading and has the potential to reduce the workload. And there is something interesting in these two applications. None fundamentally change who is responsible for the patient. They help the radiologist. They don't replace the radiologist. Now compare that with autonomous AI. Instead of helping radiologists read examinations faster or better, Oxipit asks hospitals to trust software to decide that an examination did not need to be reviewed by a physician at all. That's a completely different level of disruption. In my opinion, it was simply too big a leap for where healthcare is today. Too disruptive. It's too early. And not because the tech wasn't good, but because the market wasn't ready. It's important to remember that healthcare is slow to embrace radical changes in technology, workflows, or clinical practice. And building trust takes time. It takes years. Healthcare does not usually reward the most disruptive innovation first. It rewards innovations that integrate naturally into existing workflows, solve today's problems, and gradually build confidence. results. In my opinion, that's one of the biggest lessons for healthcare entrepreneurs. If your vision is truly disruptive, sometimes the best strategy is to reach it through small, practical steps, increments, rather than one giant leap. Healthcare is not consumer technology. In Silicon Valley, people often say move fast and break things. In healthcare, you simply cannot. Healthcare moves slowly and for good reason. Every new technology has to prove that it's safe, effective, and cost-effective. It should fit into existing clinical workflows and, more importantly, earn trust. So it has to convince not only physicians, but also hospital administrators. So being technically better or innovative is often not enough. Being ready for the market is very important. I simply don't think the radiology community was ready for autonomous AI. From Sectra's perspective, however, I think this acquisition looks like an excellent deal. It's a bargain. It actually reminds me of two other recent acquisitions at surprisingly low valuations. Chiron Medical, acquired by Deep Health, and Context Flow, acquired by 40 Medical, which, by the way, I discussed in one of my previous videos. So first, why would Sectra acquire Oxipit? In my opinion, not because it wanted to become the first company offering autonomous AI in radiology. Sectra's strategy is something quite different. Sectra is one of the world's leading enterprise imaging companies offering PACS. Its customers increasingly want access to multiple AI applications from multiple vendors, integrated seamlessly into their daily workflow. So Sectra's ambition isn't to become another AI startup. It's to become the platform through which AI is delivered to radiologists, pathologists, and other imaging specialists. An open platform. Seen from that perspective, the acquisition makes perfect sense. For less than 2 million euros, Sectra acquires an experienced AI engineering team, years of AI research, regulatory expertise, technological and market knowledge. Also, a portfolio of AI applications beyond the core product applied to chest imaging, musculoskeletal X-rays, and also CT. And yes, they also get access to the world's first approved autonomous AI for chest X-ray, which is a remarkable achievement, but probably not the main reason behind this acquisition. I actually think this last point is more symbolic than strategic. Overall, this acquisition signals to Sectra's customers, partners, and investors that Sectra is ready for the AI era, while acquiring years of expertise at a remarkably attractive price. Would Oxipit have been acquired for more in the United States? Personally, I think probably yes, given the technology they developed, the regulatory approvals they obtained, the platform they built, the IP they created, and the team they assembled. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a valuation several times higher. But Lithuania is a very different startup ecosystem. And more importantly, Sectra is also known as a disciplined, conservative company that does not overpay for acquisitions. Now, does this mean autonomous AI has failed? I don't think so. Actually, I think it's exactly where we're heading. The combination of rising imaging volumes, a worldwide shortage of radiologists, and rapidly improving AI will make some degrees of autonomous decision-making increasingly difficult to avoid in healthcare. We have already seen this happen in software development. AI started as a coding assistant, helping developers write code. Today, it's increasingly capable of building entire applications autonomously. We're also becoming comfortable riding in autonomous taxis in some cities, and I believe healthcare will eventually move in the same direction. In fact, autonomous AI already exists in other medical fields. Autonomous diabetic retinopathy screening has been used clinically for several years. And more recently, autonomous AI for skin cancer detection has also received regulatory approval and is beginning to enter clinical practice in the NHS. So I don't think AI will simply become another tool. For certain well-defined clinical tasks, it will eventually become an autonomous colleague working alongside physicians. To me, the real question isn't if that happens. It's when and how we, healthcare professionals, choose to adopt it safely. So my main takeaway for entrepreneurs, healthcare professionals, and investors is this. In healthcare, being too disruptive can be just as dangerous as being wrong. Building something technically extraordinary is not enough. You also have to build something that today's healthcare system is actually ready to adopt. And companies that succeed are often not those pushing for the most radical change from day one. They are the ones solving real problems today, integrating safely into existing workflows, and moving healthcare forward step by step toward a more disruptive future. I think that's the biggest lesson from the Oxipit story. I would love to hear your perspective. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy discussions about healthcare AI, radiology innovation, startups, and investing, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.